Yay! It's my fantasy football show. You should watch it. Well, hello and welcome back to all of my friends, my fans, and fellow FTFLs for yet another edition of the longest running weekly episodic fantasy football show out there. That's right, boys and girls. It is time once again for the FTFL weekly update. I am Brett Sieber, not only the host of this show, not only the two-time league champion, but also the current front runner for buying all of your sorry asses pizza at the draft next year. Really, John? Really? You couldn't beat Eric? What the hell? You know what? Anyways, we are 12 weeks down, 2 weeks to go until the playoffs start. A couple teams solidified their spots this past week. One team continues to just look as just in shambles as they tried everything to get themselves in. Maybe they are on the outs. The last 2 weeks are definitely fixing to be something special. This week, speaking of special, not one, not two, but three quarterbacks had 30-point performances. One in a losing effort. That's got a sting. Also, in one of those 30-point performances, another team has joined the hallowed, vaunted, elite 10-win club. We'll dive back into what that means, some of the stats from the past, and what it might mean for that team this season. Now, we were going to go ahead with our third installment of Fantasy Confessions. We have people on the phone lines on hold as we speak. And on hold is where they will stay because we have ourselves a special guest right here in the FTFL studios. Not only is he special, not only is he a four-time champ, but he is a breaking and entering, title thieving, giving up on my team, can't stop winning, riding the choo-choo train owner of a man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jeff Markser to the show. Come on in here, Jeff. Careful as you come in the studios. What are you making crowd noise for yourself? I don't understand.
Yes!
Hey, man, welcome to the show. Long time no see.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting that you're here in the Twin Cities.
I was on my way to Fargo, and so I was in the area, so I figured I'd
You were on your way to Fargo.
Pit stop here. Yep.
Well, did you tell Salty you're going past his house, or
I didn't.
Well, he's gonna see this?
He doesn't watch this.
I don't know, he tells me he likes the show. You know what? Anyways,
He just wants to make you feel better.
Actually, you know what? Speaking of Salty, you played him
We
this
don't
week,
need to
didn't you? That is the first game in the notebook here, Jeff.
good.
The
Get it
Radioactive
over
Monkeys coming in at
Get it
9-2, taking on Jeff. Do you want to do this part?
No, just do it.
You don't want to do this
No,
part?
go,
And you
go.
probably can do this by now.
No.
Mana, four-time, lucky pants, breaking and entering, title thieving. I gave up on my team, but I can't stop winning, champ.
Four-time
Mana.
champ. Four-time champ.
Did I say
Mana.
that?
No, you missed the four. The only
You
person
said you didn't
in
want
the
to do this
four-time
part, but
champ.
now you feel like you want to jump in.
I was just making sure you got it right.
Yeah, you've won 4 times. However, you had, was it 3 or 4 wins in a row?
Yeah, after week 4, I was
You were-
7-1.
You were on, yeah, well, make it
No,
7.
after 3, I was 0-3, and then I went 7-1.
Make it 7-2.
Yeah.
78 points is not enough to beat Adam Saltmarsh's 118.5. Now, I mentioned 3 30-point performances. 2 came from quarterbacks in this game. If you're Saltmarsh, Jalen Hurts, he is going to be the golden ticket as far as I see it. 38 points for him.
Push.
Dude, I agree. Dude,
God, that's the worst play ever.
Do we really want to get into this? I mean, because I hate that. Just, ooh. Anyways, Josh Jacobs showed up in a big way, biggest game of the season.
He had one big run.
Yeah,
that's all he had.
20 points for him. Raheem Mostert, 18.
Again, did nothing until the fourth quarter and had 2 touchdowns.
That is the witching hour, man. I hate the fourth quarter. Jeff, you know what? You're probably still going to make the playoffs. I don't know why you're understanding.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, I'm on the brink of setting a record for most losses in a season.
Did you see my team? I had one guy show up.
Okay, so
let me
finish Saltmarsh's
we
here.
don't need to go
Tyreek
through
Hill, 16.5. Stephon Diggs, 13. Devontae Smith was on his bench, 15.5. Interesting thing about Devontae. First 7 games of the season, 50 points combined. Over the last 4 weeks, 63.5. As if Saltmarsh needed another weapon on his team heating up as we speak. Speaking of heating up, that didn't happen much for the Mana this week.
You missed a 0 from his tight end. He got 0.
Oh,
0 points.
I guess I didn't feel that was necessary when he scored 118.5, but you know what?
He scored 118.5, and the guy scored 0 points on his team.
That's a hell of a performance.
We're going to Sox Center for the draft. Just saying.
I'm hoping Park Rapids because John, we got to get. That's the way we're going to. Remember that whole rule. That whole rule was started to kind of trap Deesum at his apartment and try to get the draft there. Correct. Remember that? Yep. And it never happened because Deesum quit. He's a quitter.
So we're supposed to let John win?
Well, I mean,
it'd be fun.
I don't necessarily want to see, let him win,
it's gonna happen.
But I wouldn't mind seeing him win.
Go ahead.
I'd like to see Matt versus John in the Fantasy Bowl.
Move on to the next
game.
All
right. No, Dak had 32.
Move on to the next game.
And San Francisco had 14. Everyone else, Jeff, on your team had 6 points or fewer. You fall to 7-5. Still in the driver's seat. You're in the playoffs, Jeff. You're in the playoffs. It would take... at 7...
I'm not mathematically...
I'm sure
I'm not 100%.
Being the math guy that you are, maybe by next week, the number muncher will chime in and send us all the playoff possibilities with 1 week to go. Not that I care to hear from the number muncher, but he seems to pop up in those situations. All right, game number 2. We talked about him a lot already. Dick Weed coming in at 9-2, taking on the lowly Pack Attack at 2-9. And wouldn't you know, not so lowly anymore. 79 for Eric, 67 for John. If you're Eric,
79 to 67.
Dude, that was the total score. I know, right? Just brutal. By the way, John had back-to-back weeks of 100. Now, remember the week before the back-to-back weeks, he scored 60. So John seems to be boom or bust right now.
We're not going to Park Rapids. We're not going to Park Rapids. 67 points.
Josh Allen had 34. Baltimore's defense 13. Najee Harris had himself maybe the best game all season, 12 points. One. Greg Zerline, after a 0-point performance last week, somehow squirts 1 through this week. That was enough for him. Keenan Allen for John was his leading scorer at 13. Justin Herbert, 12. Pittman and Pitts, both with 11. Thought that was fun. Barkley, Mixon, and Swift combined for 12 points. John's running backs, they averaged 28. Jeff, it does not take a math teacher from Browerville. But since I have a math teacher from Browerville sitting next to me, would those 16 points have gotten John the win?
16. I think it would have.
Yes, it would have. And you would have entered the 10-win club too, John. Instead, you wait till next week. Eric, you now have a game up on me in the pizza stakes. Well, actually, if we're going to do the tournament, maybe it doesn't matter quite yet.
If Eric is in the pizza bowl and wins it, does that mean he gets to buy pizza from Chicago? Because that pizza was fantastic.
Well, you can have that stuff ordered up. We could get Gino's ordered up. We could help. You know what? There's Giordano's here in the cities.
Really?
Yes, we could go pick it up. Bring one of your fancy pizza bags. We'll keep it nice and warm. Boom. That's it. That's it. Giordano's from Uptown or wherever the hell it is.
As long as I don't have to pay for it. All good.
Well, you're not going to be in the toilet bowl series. Don't worry. Two other teams. Well, actually, one team that won't, and one team that is rapidly descending into that contention. The Southbound Pachyderms coming in at 7-4, taking on Make America Great Again at 5-6.
This is the official press conference for Cray-America Industries. Make Cray-America great again. We would like to officially announce our giving up on the season. We all know that this never worked for teams in the past and that there is no hope for making the playoffs. We will look forward to pushing on for next year. Thank you for your support. Again, this is our official announcement. We are giving up on the season. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Sid, all those trades, all that capital, he just is spinning the tires relentlessly. Now, 97.5 points would have beat Eric.
Yeah.
It would have beat John.
Not that.
It would have beat you. Hell, I mean, if we want to go through this list, it would have beat my brother. It would have beat me. But you know who it didn't beat?
The Southbound Pachyderms.
Yeah, the Pigs, because they scored 103 points to Sid's 97.5. Swartz teamed, everyone showed up. Mike Evans 19, Dallas at the defense. That defense could be the difference maker. I didn't include defenses last week in that whole top three, but that defense is stud worthy.
Yeah, he should have a good team. We could call him the Yankees of the FTFL this year.
Was he?
He gave up his draft picks.
I mean, he did. You're right.
He gave up a first rounder for your guy. He gave you a first rounder for that guy.
Kenneth Walker the
Kenneth
third.
Walker, and he's done nothing.
Well,
He didn't even play this past week.
It's been rough. I'm looking at this Murray in 16 points. It's not Latavius Murray.
No.
Who the hell is Murray? Is that his kicker?
Could be.
Right?
I don't.
You see what I go through now when you watch this.
It's your own. You wrote that.
Well,
yourself.
I see what I know what it says, but I just don't know.
Kyler
Murray. You know why that's interesting? Because that's his third quarterback. He has Howell and stupid face Russell Wilson, but he went with Kyler Murray. CD Lamb, thanks for being here. You saved the day.
He did try to get Dak Prescott off waivers after I dropped him, but yeah, I picked him up before he was able to.
Wait! You dropped Dak and then you picked him back up.
I sure did, and I tried to do it again this week, and I failed with Zach Moss.
Yeah, you did. You know what? It's funny. I talked to Swart earlier today. And he's pretty pissed about Eric.
I thought that was fantastic. Eric, thank you very much.
$3 in
buddy.
an effort where he is losing.
Yes.
He is not. Is Zach Moss the keeper?
No.
So what the hell is Eric doing?
He's preventing.
Oh my God!
The pachyderms from achieving his ultimate goal, which was a fantastic move. Nice block, Eric.
Gay also had 11 points. Zay Flowers on the bench, 22.5. That was his kicker,
okay.
Yes. If you're Sid, Goff had 20, Derrick Henry 16.5, Debo 15.5, Stevenson 14.5. Those three players you traded for, they all showed up.
Yeah, second round.
David Montgomery, 12 points. Puka, 2. He's been averaging 11 plus points. Also, Jeff, if Puka hits his average, I'm seeing a win for Sid there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sid falls to 5-7. Swart rolls to 8-4.
Soon to be 5-8.
Oh, why is he playing you?
He sure is.
All right. Well, before we get into these last couple of games, the 10-win club. Last year, we had our 11th and 12th. Andy and Eric both were 10-game winners last year, and actually both went on to win 11 games, which tied the league record. Adam Saltmarsh this week becomes the 13th team in the history of the FTFL. 20-plus year history.
That's a lot.
It is. To be a 10-win team. Now, 2 weeks ago, he could break the record.
But that's with an extra week.
Well, and that has to be considered.
Extra week.
So now, but I mean, he could tie, that 13 next week. But yes, with the extra week. Now, Jeff, did you remember who was the first person that won the league when we had 14 regular seasons? I mean, like the first ever 14 regular games, winner. Who was that?
I don't recall.
Maybe, we'll look it up and maybe we'll talk about it on the show next week. Now, of the previous 12 teams that have won 10 games, 7 have won the league title.
That's over 50%.
Sure is. Now, oddly enough, Eric did that last year. Andy did not. Didn't. But then you think about it, both Andy and Eric won 11 games. What are their records right now?
Not very good.
Dude, 3-9 and 4-10. Or 4-8.
Isn't that the championship curse?
4 years in a row. The champion has failed to make the playoffs. Andy started that. You followed his lead. I decided, sure, why not? Eric, I don't even know what his deal was. By the way, one picture with the belt.
I did say when I finally got that picture last week, I'm like, holy crap! He's alive! The belt is still there.
And you know what Eric is doing this week?
No, I don't know what Eric's doing.
He is on a cruise. He's on a cruise.
And he didn't bring the belt.
Oh, not a chance. I said, you bringing that with? No, I didn't bring it with.
I forgot it when I went.
You know what? I
was very disappointed with myself.
Over Christmas, I'm taking it back.
Oh, you're going to go steal it?
You know what? Do you know someone who's good at breaking?
I do.
Perfect. You know what? We'll talk about that later.
Right.
So, you know what, Saltmarsh, best of luck to you. You seem to be in the driver's seat to be number 8 of those winners. However, stranger things have happened. Sure. Speaking of stranger things, Matt, coming in at 5-6, the Architect, taking on the Mixing Cocktails for 4-7, who can't buy a win. They have lost 5 in a row. Make it 6. Matt gets a much-needed win, 103.5 to 78.5. That is Matt's highest score of the season. Now, if his team's going to pick it back up, do you remember when I was all in on the Matt train?
You were all in on the Matt train.
And so there's a chance that maybe he's going to hit his stride. C.J. Stroud. Not a bad starting quarterback, 26 points. Bijan Robinson, biggest game of the year, 21.5. Jonathan Taylor, 18. But yeah, that's the face right there. What happened?
Thumb. He can't hold on to the ball.
Well, that would be tricky. So he's out. Zach Moss isn't a chance because Jeff dropped him and Eric picked him up.
He didn't even try to pick him up. I looked at the waiver things.
So what did he do?
He didn't even attempt to try to pick up Zach Moss.
Did he pick up anybody?
I don't think so. He's like, oh, but he does have that guy that he didn't play last week.
Who was that?
Williams.
Oh, Kyron. Yeah,
I'm
you
sure
know what?
you got that written down on there.
You know what?
You
Actually,
didn't need him,
here,
but
Kyron Williams, had a lot of.
It was over 30 points.
It was a lot.
I was probably 30 points.
DJ Moore, 11.5. Adam Thielen hasn't had a double-digit game in the last 5 games. Half a point for him.
He started Adam Thielen instead of
over
Kyron.
Kyron.
Why would you do that?
Because he just came back from being
So
injured.
what?
Hey, whoa,
you saw
we have
what
seen
he did before
plenty
the
of
injury.
Plenty
he
of
was
snap
going against
counts.
Arizona's run
I
defense.
understand, but
I
dude.
didn't start him in my other league either, so that's
So
and I lost too. I could have won if I would have started him. So I figured, but you still.
But
Okay.
Matt, shame. Wow, wow, that was awesome. All right, if you're Andy, Miami's defense 22, Pollard 15, McManus 14.
Was his defense the highest scorer?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you got 25 written.
Well, but that's 2.5.
Oh, it's
2.5.
I didn't see the decimal point.
If Justin Fields 6 points, I'm looking at
6 points.
2.5 points from a guy that had 77. I don't even know what this. My writing is just atrocious. It says Edwards. Oh, Gus Edwards.
Gus.
Yeah, who
Gus
was
the
a
Bus.
touchdown machine. He had 74 combined points over the last 5 weeks. It was averaging 14.8 a week. 2.5 this week. Even with that average, it wouldn't have made a difference. Andy loses his 6th in a row.
You know, Andy was my team to beat at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he was 4-2 once upon a time.
Even before he was 4-2, after the draft, I said, "Look at Andy's team. He's going to win it, and we're going to have to go if we're invited. Go out to Michigan. Michigan now." Wisconsin. He's still in Wisconsin.
I mean, it's close to Michigan, so I can see.
I thought for sure we were road tripping, but nope. No. I don't think so anymore.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
No.
Last game.
Well, we road trip to Sox Center. You guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be a nice quick drive for you.
Yes. Nice
last game of the week. Now, I thought when you showed up tonight, I thought maybe you'd bring your brother-in-law in tow because, as I said last week, hey Peter, beat me. Come take the hammer. Now, Jeff might have been the nice guy and brought all sorts of things to your house this evening. Me, not so much. You want it? Come get it. Speaking of get it, I got it.
He did. He does say thank you for the victory and for the other victory.
Okay.
He says thank you.
Yeah, he beat me twice this year.
Twice.
I kind of feel like
I beat you twice too.
I'm 2-10. Everyone's kind of beat me twice
I told
at this
him
point.
Too. I said you're giving a lot of wins this.
Valhalla 5-6 coming in, taking on me at 2-9. 102.5 for Peter, 75.5 for me. By the way, 75. I would have beat a couple teams this week, but yeah.
Would you beat me?
No, I wouldn't. I lost by
yes.
a couple points.
Yes.
If you're Peter. This stacked team, man. Run CMC 22.5, Mahomes 20. The Jets defense, please. The Jets defense 13. AJ Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown 10.5 points each. Rashee Rice 20 points on his bench. He has another receiver on his bench who has been playing super well.
Is that his rookie?
Is Rashee Rice? Maybe. That would not be a bad rookie if that's the case. Also has Travis Kelce who scored 9. I didn't put him on here. His team, if he gets in. Now, Sid lost. So as of right now, Peter, you're in and in the driver's seat. Keep winning. You're going to find yourself where you want to be. For me, if I keep winning, at least I won't be the worst team in FTFL history. Jordan Love, 24. Christian Watson, 14.5. Tank Dell, 12.5. I'm looking at Tank Dell all of a sudden.
Pickup.
I don't have much
you
for
traded
keepers.
for him, right?
No, I picked him up.
So Sid dropped him. Sid had him.
Mm-hmm.
He picked him up, dropped him.
Yep.
Ooh,
I picked him up because I had so many people that were injured, and all of a sudden now I might end up keeping the guy because, I don't. Gibbs 6 points was an off week. Miles Sanders. If I'm upset that I got 0 points from him, but I have to imagine the team that gave you like $20-some million is probably pretty upset.
You know that 2-win record may have something to do with the fact you have 4 Packers on your team.
You know what? They have 5 wins, and by the end of the year,
it's more than you.
It is. Thank you for.
And they played one.
Thanks
less
for solving that numerical
They played one
dilemma,
less game
Mr.
than you have too. Because
Yes.
they had bye week.
They sure have.
You have been the bye week for everybody.
Pretty much. You know what?
Except for 2 people.
Good
Who'd
thing
you
we're about
beat?
wrapping up the show
Who'd
here
you
because I'm
beat?
about done. I beat Sid.
Oh.
And
good.
I beat. Did I beat John? Or my brother? I bet I beat my brother.
Probably brother.
Probably my brother. We'll have to look at that. All right, the stud, the done, the cringy. Stud of the week, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, 38 and 34 respectively. I didn't put your guy in there. I'm sorry.
You didn't need to.
You didn't win.
Did you put my rest of my team as the duds?
No, Puka Nacua with 2 points, averages 12, and John's running backs, the duds of the week, 12 points combined, average 28. Cringy, I thought about throwing Sid in the cringy again just for all those trades. I mean, granted, he has 5 wins, which I don't have 5 wins. But Andy lost 6 in a row. Think about this. I could set the record for worst season in FTFL history and not be the worst team in our league this year. Let that sink in.
How's that?
Because I've scored more points.
Oh.
Now I'd have to look at we should probably look at the all play. And if I scored more points than the all play, yet I set the record for worst season, that'll be the most Brett thing I've ever done.
That would fall into your lucky horseshoe, non-lucky.
No, there's no luck. Speaking of no luck, it is time for week 13. Ooh. Week 13, the Monkeys coming in at 10-2, taking on the Architect at 6-6. Matt needs a win. Salty wants to set records.
We're gonna go with.
Yeah, what do you got at that one?
I gotta go with Sox Center.
By the way,
Sox Center.
It's a tough week for buys. You buys this week?
That is correct. He's got a lot of people on buy this week.
It is a really sneaky bye week.
He could rest the rest of his starters and still have a bye in the playoffs the rest of the year, last 2 weeks. So I'll go with Matt.
The upset pick, there it is. All right, Dickweed coming in at 9-3, taking on the southbound Pachyderms at 8-4. This is for first place in the North.
As much as I want Swart to beat John, because if Swart beats John and I win the next 2 weeks and John and Swart lose next week, 3-way tie for first.
And Jupiter eclipses the moon, and Orion sets in the east and rises in the west. Boy, you add it all together, and wham, bam, boom, there we are. It's simple as that. Simple as that.
Simple math.
All right.
So I'll go with the southbound Pachyderms, because if John wins that, he clinches the first round bye.
He will be. Yep. There's nothing Swart can do about it. Yeah. Next up, this is your shot. If you want to roll through it.
What? I can't read that.
This is you.
That's me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
Mana. Four-time
Four.
Lucky Pants, breaking and entering, title thieving. I gave up and my team keeps winning. Champ Mana at 7-5, taking on. Speaking of bye weeks, make Kramerica great again. If you lose to Sid, wouldn't that be? I mean, you guys have played each other a lot, especially playoff wise. There's a big rivalry here. Sid needs a win desperately.
You're going down.
All right, he has picked
You're
himself.
Going down.
All right. Next up, the Valhalla. He gets upset, I think, when I say Valhalla.
Maybe that's why he isn't visiting.
No, I just
He's mad at you.
He just didn't want.
You can't pronounce his name.
He didn't want to go out in the cold. He's SAWFT. Soft. All right, 6-6, taking on the Pack Attack at 3-9, and lastly, and certainly leastly, the Hulkamaniacs at 2-10.
Pack Attack. I'm going Pack Attack.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You go. Ooh.
Yeah.
2 wins in a row. Another upset.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, and then the Hulkamaniacs 2-10 coming in, taking on the Mixing Cocktails. Now right. If I was I just said
you can do it. You can do it.
I could in effect catch Andy.
You could.
But there's something enticing about the worst record of all time, yet not being the worst team in the league that year. That would be a real accomplishment. And with that being said, my friends, we have come to the end.
I'm going with the Hulkamaniacs, by the way. You're not letting me pick my team.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hulkamaniacs. And thanks for
Who do the Packers play?
The Packers?
Yeah, who do they play?
Sunday night, brother.
Against
Kansas City's coming to town.
Oh, maybe I better.
Now you got to understand.
I'll stay with the Hulkamaniacs.
Yeah, because that is not an automatic loss for the Packers. That's going to be something. Sunday night at Lambeau. Look out. If I could get a ticket, maybe I work that day, so I can't get there in time.
I work on Sunday. That's good because you don't work any other day, so you don't call it work.
That's right. It's my job, Jeff. It's not really work. So. Right. All right, buddy. Well, you know what? This was a real nice surprise, Jeff. This was fun. I hope you all had fun. I had a blast. 2 weeks to go, and then it's playoff time. Oh, by the way, mark your calendars. We're going back. This year's FTFL Holiday Special, December 20th. That's a Wednesday. Live. Well, it probably won't be live. On location at the Hot Tub.
Hot Tub!
With my good buddy, Adam Swart. Going to be a blast. Jeff, you going to be there?
Maybe. I'm sure Swart would be really excited to have 3 dudes in his hot tub.
No, you did that wrong. That would be three rub-a-dub-dub.
Oh,
3 men in the tub.
In the hot tub. Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see if that plays out. But until then,
all right.
Welcome, FTFL, to the Fantasy Graveyard. This week, we look at a team who was thinking to be great, but now, not so much. A team of fools. Yeah. Now to the fantasy graveyard. Welcome to the graveyard. Ah, screw it. Ah, I'm so angry. We already know what's going on. America sucks. He traded away all his good players. Might as well rename the Vinci Cringy after him and give him the award for life. Ah, he's done for years. Let's get to the real crux of the issue. This, I owe you. No, you were supposed to give me your soul, Brett. I'm so angry. You better watch your back. I'm coming for you. You and your show. I gave it back to you, and this is the thanks I get. This is what I think of your IOU. Yes, watch it go. Oh, wait. I need that. I gotta claim my IOU. This doesn't do me any good if I get rid of it. I'm so angry. Beware.